Yo, what's good? So, I wasn't gonna talk about this shit, but it's kind of funny, man. Playboi Carti dropped his third album, I guess you want to call it, or sophomore album, Whole Lot of Red. And so, the anticipation for this album was crazy for the young fan base, I guess. If you're a teenager and younger, I don't want to put an age bracket on it, but through the years, people have been waiting on this album. And I do believe that a lot of this shit leaked from the original Whole Lot of Red. So y'all already know the history with that shit. But to see this shit unfold was kind of crazy. Watching Act stream and talking about the album. Nigga even made the album. That shit was kind of hilarious and funny. Some people say that, oh, it dates the album because he talk about Christmas. That's beyond the point. I still think that's dope. And I think a lot of those niggas that he put on, not put on, but basically put their music to another audience. They should have that nigga, like, you know what I mean, interlude on the albums and shit. I think that shit dope. But I'm trying to understand the hate for the album. Like, what were y'all expecting? Because from listening to his self-titled debut to Die Lit to this joint, it's called Evolution. You know what I mean? I guess a lot of people wanted the baby voice. Let's just say they did want the baby voice. Would you want a baby voice for 20 tracks? You know what I mean? Pierre Bourne, Molly Raw, just a few notable 808, Mafia would have been a whole lot of red. And I think people would have still had a problem with it because you're gonna have people that say, oh, it's no growth, it's no elevation. He doing the same shit over. But he evolved and did something different, and now y'all don't fuck with it. But if you look, it's still the number one album. He sold 100-something thousand the first week, which is double what he did with Die Lit. And even Die Lit, I wasn't a huge fan of Carti. I'm not saying I am now, but his self-titled joint got a couple joints I fuck with. The Uzi joint, Magnolia joint. Die Lit got a few more records, but it's a lot of filler on that shit as well. But with this joint, it's a lot of filler. Out of 24 songs, shit, I admit I like 15 of them. But I still don't really understand where the hate come from. It was confusing to me. You know what I mean? Like, I don't care what niggas do in their personal life when it comes to music. You know what I mean? Way he dressed, way he acts. Some of them pictures was a little bit weird as fuck. I'm not even gonna lie, because it's like, yo. But these young fans be co-signing that shit. Niggas painting their nails and doing suggestive, my bad, I'm a little drunk, but doing suggestive dance moves is kind of weird. You know what I'm saying? But I'm just here for the music. And some of these joints is fucking fire. A lot of them too short. But me speaking for the album personally, I'm not mad at it. The last track is probably the best song on the album because it's different. I wasn't expecting that. I wouldn't even be mad if Playboi did a whole album like that with sample type records. Him and Kanye, I think, could deliver some great music. I'm really feeling the song he did with Cudi or Kanye. That's just me, my preference. But Feel Like I'm Dying track was dope because it instantly made me think of Wayne. Like, oh shit, another nigga trying this. What is he about to do? And it's just like, it was dope. It was more, this project was more informative because it showed me a side of him I didn't know. Rather, it was talking about, you know, his girl, his kid, his family. You know what I mean? Not really introspective, super like a lyrical level, but I learned more from this shit than I did from Die Lit. Other than popping pills, sipping lean, fucking bitches, getting money, we flexing, buying designer. You know what I mean? So it's definitely a growth. As far as the merch and all that other bullshit that came with it, let's be real. We all know who Fallen in Reverse is, and niggas really wasn't fuck with them a few years ago, even when I bought the album. And I think one of the niggas that was a part of it or some shit was going crazy on Twitter with some YouTube niggas not too long ago. But that's beyond the point. But to just see this shit still on the charts is crazy. For motherfuckers to say that they didn't fuck with the album, they didn't like it, then why has he got a number one album? That shows that, you know what I mean, out of top Apple albums, he's in there. And that's good to me. You know what I mean? But the Iggy shit, oh, that shit was just hilarious because that shit came out of left fucking field. Like, bitch, you knew this nigga was being shiesty and trifling way before his album, and you wait till the day the nigga drop his shit to go psycho? And the thing that killed me, I still can't get over this shit. Let me pause this shit because I don't want YouTube to be like, oh, go flag your video. I hear this music in the background. The bitch said, I'm so happy I pulled you. Mind you, Cardi is like 24 and I think this bitch is in her 30s. What? And I seen that and I had to log off Twitter. Like, that's something about me where I see something, it's like, okay, it's time to get off the internet. I did not understand that. I was like, wait, this bitch says she's happy that she was able to pull this nigga. Bitch, didn't you make the song Rolex? Talking about ASAP? And you've been attached to so many notable ball players or rappers, and you was happy to pull him? No disrespect to Cardi. That nigga fly, he do what he do, but it's just like, that's just weird. It's just like, okay, the bitch is a bitch. No disrespect to you, Iggy. I'm not trying to call you a bitch, but I'm just saying, your man's fucking with a bitch. They date, whatever. He don't really take her serious. He smashed a couple times. They kind of date, but then they fall off. And then behind you, or behind that, you somehow get in that situation. I always find out weird. Like, you niggas share bitches. Like, that shit weird as fuck. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's crazy. And you be the nigga that get the bitch pregnant. But she kind of threw a nigga on the bus. Was like, oh, he wanted the baby. Bitch, it's 50-50. Even if he say he want a kid, are you ready to have a kid? See, to me, Iggy got a lot of issues with herself. I would just say, like, emotional issues and everything. Doing things to try to keep somebody with her. You know what I mean? I guess they would call that low self-esteem. But at the end of the day, you'll look at her and it's just like, well, she cool, but we already know she got, you know, surgery here, a little facelift here, whatever you want to call that bullshit that they do to try to stay relevant. But I just thought that was the most hilarious shit, and I didn't want to hear shit else she had to say. Like, you happy, you, that you pulled that nigga, and you thought that he would change for you. And then you see the bitch that he so-called cheated with or fucked or whatever the case may be. It is what it is. The nigga only 24. What the fuck did you expect from that nigga? I mean, everybody been 24 before. A bitch that's older talking about having kids and marriage, you looking at the bitch like she fucking crazy. Like, what are you talking about? You is blind and I don't know sign language. I know I said that fucked up. That don't even make sense. Like, you wouldn't sign somebody that's blind. My bad. But you get what I'm saying. You know what I mean? It's just like, I'm writing, you know, pen and pad, and you on some braille shit, bitch. You can't see me right now. You on some other shit. I just thought that was weird. But the album cool. I mean, I fuck with a few other songs. Like I said, 15 of them. You know, but my notables, honestly though, it gotta be Bino, Slayer. I really don't like Metamorphosis. I think it's dope that he rapped over Cuddy's while he humming, but I wasn't too impressed with. Well, I'll say Cudi verse is better than Kanye verse, but I fuck with New Tank. New Neon is my shit. That shit is just crazy. The Control shit was good, but at first I was stuck. I was thinking about maybe he's talking to the new bitch he with, but the more when you look at the tweets and everything Iggy doing, a lot of these songs he actually talking about Iggy, especially the joint when he said to slap her on her ass. She don't cook, she don't clean. I slap her on her ass. I thought that was hilarious because we actually seen that shit in a text message like, "Oh, I miss rubbing your butt." I thought that was hilarious. So if you really go back and look at the album and listen to it, I think people will get a more better feel of it. You know what I mean? Because it just dropped. It came out Christmas and niggas listen to it like, oh, what is this shit? But when you really look at the context of everything, it's actually not a bad record. Punk Monk is cool. I was shocked to know that he could have signed niggas and really didn't do it because he didn't fuck with niggas. He talked about the Uzi and Offset shit. That was kind of alright or whatever. We didn't really give a fuck about that. King Vamp, that's cool. Place over I Love to Hate You, dope. Die for My Guy, that's where he talk about his brother and everything like that. So it's like he opening up more on the project. So I'm like, well, what the fuck do they not like about the album? And Feel Like I'm Dying, like I said, it ends the album properly. You know what I mean? And in my playlist, I just added the At Me or At Me record, whatever you want to call it, just because it didn't, you know, I feel like you just got to throw that in there. Because over time, that song became a hit. Not a hit, but motherfuckers appreciated it later, rather than when it first came out. But yeah, the little concert he put on, the little virtual shit, that shit was hilarious. Way was dancing and shit. I don't know who the fuck that nigga with the glasses was, or the other little spike-haired nigga. That shit just was hilarious. And I do believe the nigga was smoking a cigarette, and people was like, oh, you shouldn't smoke cigarettes, you got asthma. It's like, nigga, did you not see him at his fucking album release party? I'm quite sure that was a cigarette. Niggas smoke cigarettes. I mean, what you gonna do? Some niggas smoke Black and Mouths. Some niggas smoke cigarettes. Y'all niggas gotta get over that shit. You know what I'm saying? That's cigarettes been a part of music culture forever. Think all the rock legends you love, or all the great hip hop artists, nigga love Pac. Pac was a heavy nigga that smoked Newports. We know that. So it's like, get off that cigarette shit. If you do it, you do it. You don't, you don't. It is what it is. But I think the album's straight. As far as the deluxe, I don't know what the fuck he gonna do with that. Because if this bitch is already 24 records, you might as well just do the deluxe with all the leaks. Might as well. Like, pick the best fucking 10, 15 leaks. You know what I'm saying? Do that. Because to do another deluxe where it's just all new music, you might as well just do another album. At that point, just do Dilate 2. That's what fans really want, so fuck it. Do Dilate the sequel. It will make more sense. Because then you got the fans that didn't like this shit, and what they wanted, you kind of cater to both fan bases. People that love elevation and growth, and people that just want the same shit, which is weird when fans do that. Like, y'all get so mad at people because they don't make the same shit. And it's like, bro, 808s came out, niggas hated that shit. Is it not a classic? Has none of these new niggas that love that album came out and said it, to them that's their blueprint, that's their classic album, 808s and Heartbreak, their inspiration? What are you niggas talking about? Y'all gotta stop that shit. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I'm not even in an age bracket to where I should be listening to this shit, but I can appreciate the music for what it is and what he tried to deliver. It's cool. It's straight. I got my tracks I fuck with, you know. I think I listen to Slayer the most and New Neon, Feel Like I'm Dying, Place. You know what I mean? I just fuck with those records heavy, but it's not my demographic for what I'm supposed to like. I just can appreciate it. You know what I mean? As far as all the mumble rap, because I said that years ago. All these mumble rap niggas not going to be here down the line. And you look at most of them are getting mad at their fan base because their fan base want them to stay one way and they trying to grow and elevate. But the fans don't want to fuck with that shit. Y'all niggas is crazy, man. Elevation is key, but other than that, I fuck with the album. A Whole Lot of Red is dope. I don't like the album cover though. I get the inspiration, but I wish he would have chose the original album artwork. It was so many of them. That's dope. I actually made a playlist and put the artwork that I fuck with. A Whole Lot of Red, where this nigga got like devil horns and shit like that, and upside down crossing and shit. I don't know. I'm into that demonic shit. It is what it is. Demons ain't so bad when you think about it. But yeah. So that album cool. Y'all just gotta fuck with it. And when you fuck with it, if you don't fuck with it, then shit, I guess like that nigga saying fuck you. But yeah, I fuck with it though, man. Y'all let me know what y'all thought about it. What's your favorite songs? And if you do drop a deluxe, what are the songs that y'all want to fuck with that? Because I didn't even hear none of the leaks. Other than Pissy Pamper, which I don't know why the fuck the official version of that shit ain't came out. But I don't know. I guess over time. But I'm talking too much. I'm out this bitch. Y'all be easy. Happy New Year. Y'all be safe. One.